What happens when a group of paranormal investigators start a conversation? You get Ghost to the Coast Paranormal, the podcast. Tales of the dead, the bizarre, and all things supernatural. Join us now as we discuss whatever we want to. Ooh. Hi, and welcome back to Ghost of the Coast Paranormal, the podcast. I'm Erin.
I'm Deborah.
And tonight we're just talking. So we are just shooting the breeze, the paranormal breeze. How's that sound? So,
Yeah.
just,
We can
it's been
talk
a
about
long.
that pasta salad I made last week that looked like it come from a ghost.
We first and foremost, Linnea, we miss you, girl. We're ready for you to come back to us. We miss you.
Yes, I'm ready to see your face.
Yes, but we know you've been hella busy.
What?
Hella busy. Um, So, but yeah, we do. We miss you. We're ready for you to come back, and I know that our listeners are ready for you to come back because you do a great job at keeping us on track.
Yeah, she does. She's the chaperone, y'all. She's the
She is.
chaperone.
She is. But girl, it's been a long week, and it's only Wednesday.
It has been. Monday and Tuesday weren't too bad, but today has whipped my butt.
Mm-hmm.
Has whipped my butt.
We were so busy today. I did not cash out until 4:30.
Ooh,
Yeah, we
wow.
were slam busy. Yeah, I'm ready for Friday. I'm ready for this weekend. We got an investigation coming up this weekend.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm ready
Shout
for
out.
it.
Yeah. Shout out to Wiley's on Maine, which is where we'll be investigating. So when you hear this, we will have just wrapped our investigation up.
In
Uh,
Hemingway, South Carolina.
Hemingway, South Carolina, out in the
Yes.
boonies.
Yeah.
It's what, about 45 minutes from Conway. So,
Yeah. My daddy says that's like where that's at's considered God's country.
yep.
You
Yep.
get there and you stop and look around and say, God, where am I at?
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to it. I think I've already been picking up a lot of stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. It's been today's not been quite as bad.
no,
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 no. Mm-mm.
no. It's been kind of
Mm-mm.
quiet today,
Yeah.
but for me here lately, it seems to be once I get settled down and I guess can actually hear them
Mm-hmm.
is when they start coming through. Which is
Yeah.
another side note, y'all. Like, I don't know if it's because the planets are aligning or if my abilities are getting stronger. Like I've mentioned before on the podcast, I'm pretty sure that everybody on the team has some sort of ability, whether it's like you can hear spirit, see spirit, feel spirit, something. Well, for me, like I've always been able to just get flash images of them. And but here lately, like I've been hearing them too. And so I tell you, every time that happens, it's like a superpower. It's the coolest thing to me.
Do you know what I honestly think what has happened with you is you have finally recognized, because ever since you recognized it the other week when we went to Tabor,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first time you have out loud voiced it.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it has been coming through full force.
And spot on.
Yeah.
Like the other night for me was just wild. I
That was
didn't know. It was crazy. I didn't know who this woman was. I didn't know what she wanted and why she was being so adamant that she had a message. She had this message she had to get across. And then when we finally put the connection together, I was like, holy crap, that is crazy. And then last night we were talking about Wiley's. And as soon as we started talking about it, all this stuff started coming through.
But you know what? So I guess you can say hinky for me
Yeah.
is both times that somebody has come through like that
Mm-hmm.
at the jailhouse and the other night,
Mm-hmm.
it's been to the same person.
Yeah. You got that spiritual connection though. I mean, that's probably what it is.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, we all have that spiritual connection, but I mean, more you are more what's the right way to like we're all open to it, but you are more like I think you're the most empathetic to it. Like you're the most does that make sense? Like you are the
Yeah.
most like
Yeah.
empathetic to it. Like we're all open to it. We're all
Mm-hmm.
open to receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're not the one that's like you're not seeking it,
Mm-mm.
but you're the most empathetic to it. But I think too you just have that you're just like very spiritually connected. So I mean, I tell you, every time it happens for me, it's like a daggum superpower. I'm like, what? I can really do this?
I know the other night after it was over with, I was sitting there and I was like, damn, I feel like a beacon or something. Come to me, come to me.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, like I didn't know this. I mean, I never met that person,
Mm-mm.
and like I told you, I only knew her as one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't know the name, didn't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman was so adamant, though. It was so adamant. Like she was so adamant. She had a message. She had a message, and I don't think the message was directly meant for you initially.
No.
We know who the message was for,
Mm-hmm.
but it was more so like she knew that I knew you.
And she knew that I would be a conduit.
Yeah,
You and I both.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's so she knew that I knew you, and she knew that we would be conduits. But like for me, like when I first reached out to y'all, it was more so like, is it? It was really like, is anybody um else experiencing this right now?
Mm-hmm.
and and that's where it all unfolded, man. That was the
Yeah.
coolest I mean, that was just the coolest thing. And
Mm-hmm.
but it really, since the jailhouse, it was nice to have validation
Oh, absolutely.
from Sharon. I mean, to um to know, because I mean, like I had said, I would hear things on investigations, but I was more comfortable for me to say what I was seeing or what I was sensing,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm more comfortable with that part of my
Right.
gift. So it's nothing for me to say, "Oh, there's a man standing over there by
Mm-hmm.
this chair."
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to actually, and on investigations, I would hear stuff, and but I would never say them out loud because I didn't know if that was my own self thinking it.
Right. Right.
But having that validation the other night at the jailhouse was pretty much like not only opened me up to it, but
Mm-hmm.
like made me confident in what I was hearing is actually what I'm hearing, not just my inner self.
Yeah, it was certainly a welcome surprise,
Yeah. It was and that was like a 30-minute conversation.
roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh girl, I was exhausted after that though.
It takes a lot out of you.
I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. But yeah, it's cool. And now like it having that happen, really makes me more comfortable in saying on an investigation, so and so just said blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll be
Yeah.
interested to see because it does seem to be happening to me at night or like in that investigation where I was focused on the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
But it does seem to be happening to me when I settle down
That's when
and
it's quietest. That's when you can really
yeah,
hear them more.
yeah. So I'll be interested to see if anybody comes through tonight. I mean, it's not a well, like last night when we were talking about Wiley's, I feel like it's going to be crazy busy
Oh yeah. Oh
because,
yeah.
like I said, I think it's going to be like when when a traveling performer comes into a small town, everybody turns up for it.
I've just had my first thought of the day from Saturday coming up. I
Hmm.
see a dirt road and I can hear horses trotting.
Yep, yep. Like it's very like almost like the town itself is stuck in an echo.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's like in the middle of a drought,
yeah,
I would say.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be an interesting night for sure.
Yeah.
I think we'll definitely get a lot of activity. I think it's going to be more experiences than physical evidence.
Well, and I think, one of the things that I am most excited about, I'm sorry, I cannot talk tonight. And
Lay
if y'all
off
need
the
to know what
booze,
my
Deborah.
backdrop is, I'm hiding in my closet. My husband's in the bedroom watching TV. My mama's in the den watching TV. The dogs are running wild through here. So the only place I could go that was quiet is this little 10 by 12 room in my house that's called my closet. But back to what I was saying, what I think I am most excited about is the validation for the owner. She is so excited for us to
Hmm.
come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and yeah, and I think that it's going to be I I don't know how many if any other paranormal investigators have been there. But I think that we will I hope my hope is that we will be able to give her the best uh validation and confirmation that we can,
Oh, absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely.
But I think it's going to be one of those things where it once it starts, there's going to be a bunch of different people that come through that want their
Oh,
turn.
I think it's going to be popping.
Yeah,
For
and like I
one
said, we're
reason or another is
yeah,
there's a lot of people there.
yeah, and they all have something like I said last night. I kept feeling a woman that is excited, so excited that we're coming,
Hmm.
and spirit knows these things. Like
Absolutely.
spirit will know that we're going to a location before we even book it.
Well, I mean that's why we feel the things that we feel beforehand. I mean, we can
Yeah,
feel like if they are excited that we're coming,
yeah,
or if they're not quite too darn happy.
right, right,
We've had
right.
that happen.
Yeah, we have certainly had that happen, but it's more so like it's just like there was this woman last night that came through. Um, uh, sorry, she's trying to come through now.
The same woman.
From last night, Sarah Beth or something
Oh,
is
oh,
the name that I'm picking up.
okay.
Um, anyway, so she's very excited that we're coming, and she kept repeating it last night. Was I can finally talk. I can finally talk. I can't wait to talk. I can't wait. It's
And see, that just my heart swells.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah,
Knowing that that they find us to be a voice for them.
yeah, oh yeah,
and they're willing to use us.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, and for us as Ghosts of the Coast Paranormal, that allows us to check off that third goal that we have, where we get to continue to tell these stories of the past. So, I mean, I think yeah, it's going to be popping. My name is Sarah Beth is what she keeps saying. My name is Sarah Beth. But I'll
Well,
have to do
Miss
some
Sarah Beth, it's nice to meet you. I can't wait to talk with you Saturday night.
she just said, "Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited." But I think this is the same woman that Candy and I both saw with the braid.
Yeah,
But this is going to be a hard episode.
she's
uh,
taking control.
it's going to be a hard episode because I just feel her giddiness. Like, anyway. Um, so I got to learn. Maybe Chris can teach me how to, like, better tell, like, to be able to tell them to be like, hold on, you got to wait your turn because I'm talking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like once it starts, it's just boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom. Um, let me ask you this, because I know we each feel it differently. How do you interact? Do you hear it or do you just sense it or see it?
Most of the time, it is feeling and seeing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because I know, Linnea will feel it, but she feels the energy,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll get certain, depending on what the energy is, like she'll feel it in her head or like her arms, however she'll feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just the coolest thing to me. It really is like a superpower. But y'all in the comments, y'all listening, let us know if you have any supernatural abilities. I don't want to necessarily call it psychic abilities because there's kind of
Special.
like
We'll use the word special.
special. You got any special abilities? But I mean, psychic has kind of a negative connotation.
It does. It does.
And I mean, you think about all these people on TikTok that are out there charging psychic readings or medium readings.
Mm-hmm.
I would I would not want to profit off of that.
If it's a true gift that you have,
Yeah.
you wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would not want to profit off of giving a reading.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to like, and the thing is with me, like I can't sit there and read a person and be like, "Oh, well, you have this watch, blah 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 blah." Cuz I can't do that. But my thing is strictly for communicating with spirit. Like
Have
I
you
can't
ever
read a
have
person.
you ever watched a psychic?
Yeah.
Okay, 9 times out of 10,
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, they tell you, ask you, or give you generic information,
Right, right, right.
and people take it and run with it,
Oh, absolutely. They're like, "You
and
have
that's
a
heartbreaking.
male." Yeah, they're like, "You have a male figure around you." And then
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh my god, that was my grandfather."
yeah. Or you had an older female that passed with heart issues,
Yeah.
or that had heart issues. Well, just about everybody in the world has had somebody in their family, a female,
Yeah.
with a heart issue.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see the sense in charging people for readings. Like I get when people are like when people are into it, like I'm all for it. Be into it, girl. You do you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're shelling out several $100s,
Sorry.
if you're shelling out several $100s for somebody to tell you that you know your future's going to change, da 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 da, da, you know, like
Duh.
yeah, that's just nonsense to me. I mean, if you've paid a psychic to tell you your future's going to change, or what, I mean, things that I believe in going to psychics for, uh, past life regressions, because I think that they can truly help you.
If they if they have the true gift, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which I think we've talked about before. I think, well, I think you and I have talked about it. Um, I think everybody is born with a gift.
Mm-hmm.
But because society tells us that it's not true, it's just your imagination,
Mm-hmm.
children tend to close it off at an early age.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
it
yeah.
takes forever to kick back up. Like I remember as a kid, I was super, like, I would see things and I would hear things and all of that fun stuff as a kid. And I had a very active imagination.
I did too. Mine run wild.
Oh my gosh, mine was wild.
And I
And
still have a very active imagination. I have a visual, okay? You
mhm.
tell me a story and I can see it in my mind
Yeah.
as you're telling it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can
Mhm.
paint that picture.
Yes, sir.
And but as once you hit a certain age, society tells you you don't play outside anymore. You don't do XYZ anymore. You're too cool for that. Well,
Yeah.
so I kind of like in high school, like I could feel it, I could hear it, I could see it, but I never said anything. I never talked about it. And then when I went to college, it was like a switch, just turned off. And then and it
It
wasn't
was
until
outside of what you knew as your new normal
exactly. Yeah. So and I mean,
got removed.
yeah. So it was it was like a switch. It turned off. And then it wasn't until and I had always since then, since college, like I could go places and see what it looked like back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And but then it didn't really start to open up for me until COVID when I was spending a lot more time home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a lot of people, that's when it started for them, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
during that time. Yeah. And since then, well, really since we came together, did I start like truly embracing it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like an everyday occurrence, like just a normal thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
you don't bat an eye at it now.
yeah, except when I got validation that I hear what I hear and I know that it's
Right.
legit. Because now that's like a whole new superpower.
Yeah. Oh
That's like
yeah.
a whole new thing. So I mean, it really is just the coolest thing for me.
My guard's laying at the closet door.
Yeah, my husband's weed eating around the back. Um, but yeah, I mean, it really is just coolest gift. And um, I mean, I think that
I'm excited for you. I
yeah,
am.
it is
I'm
the
very
coolest.
excited for you.
It's the coolest thing. I was at work today, and like, I swear, I heard somebody call my name, and I turned. There was nobody there.
Oh, my mama said if you hear somebody call your name and ain't nobody there, that's the devil.
Yeah,
Don't
I
acknowledge it.
Yeah. I turned, I was like, I didn't say nothing. I turned, noticed that there was nobody behind me, and I shrugged it off. I was like, nope. But yeah, I mean, it really is just the coolest thing. And I mean, and it happens the way it happens is it's not like I'm sitting here going, because I don't do that at my house. It's not like I'm sitting here going, okay, come talk to me, because
Hmm.
I don't. I'm not gonna be. I don't investigate by myself. I don't
No.
investigate. I'm not. My house isn't haunted, so I'm not bringing anything into my house.
Well,
Uh,
no, 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 no. Mm-mm.
so
I got enough
I.
ghostesses in my house. I don't need no more.
So I mean, but when it happens, it just like I said, it just when I get quiet, like here lately, when I'm getting quiet, is when they tend to like. I guess internally, my body turns on a little beacon,
Yeah.
and but it was real bad the other day. What Monday evening? It was real bad
Hmm.
because during the day, like all day,
You said it
because
was nonstop all
it
day
was
long.
not like, and yeah, and it sounded like radio static. It was just so many people, like you know those videos on TikTok where they put the plastic cup up to the beehive and the bees
Hmm.
sound like
Hmm.
that's what it sounded like all day. And finally, I was like half, and I was drained by the end of the day. Like I was so exhausted. And so I ended up like I kind of realized what it was halfway through the day. And then finally I was just like, all right, if you're going to talk to me one at a time, please.
And where you work at and the crowd you work with, it ain't like you can just whip around and say, "Stop!"
Yeah, exactly.
They
Exactly.
signed you up for EAP.
Exactly. Exactly. So, which I think that's where like yeah, I mean, I finally it was like internally I had to say if you're going to talk to me one at a time, and it just kind of tapered out, and I kind of just I didn't really dismiss it, but there's nothing that I could do. I'm not going to turn to my coworker and be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, so and so says."
Yeah.
but but yeah, it was wild. It was wild. It
Well,
was the cool.
later on, I'll tell you how to freak out one of those coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um I asked a coworker today. I asked him. I said, we're going on an investigation this weekend. You want to go? He goes, hell no.
My friend,
Your friend. Yeah. He
scaredy
said,
pants.
he
He's
said,
scared.
hell no.
He's
I'm
scared.
surprised. I'm surprised he ain't got nothing at his house. All those arrowhead he collects.
I'm sure he does.
He just doesn't want to acknowledge it. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it really is just the coolest thing. But y'all let us know in the comments, like if you have any special gifts with the supernatural, how you use them, um, how you embrace them. Remember, this is a safe space. If you don't want to leave it in the comment, send us a message. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
and Miss Helen, shout out as always. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you everybody else
You
for being
rock,
awesome.
girlfriend.
Thank you everybody else for being awesome. But Miss Helen,
Yes. Yes.
you are our ride or die. Like she
Always.
said the other
Always.
day, Miss Helen said the other day, she left a comment and said she just loves our podcast, and she said she was cleaning the house and listening to the show.
I guess we put a little pep in her step.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's what I need to do when I get ready to start cleaning.
Listen to the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, girl, look here. I've been working in this closet for the last couple of days, going through clothes and shoes and trying to get things cleaned. And I have been it's been so chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
I've had baskets of clothes just sitting in here in the floor. Well, girl, I got tickled when I found a floor in my closet the other night. Last night I went in the bathroom and I come out in the bedroom. I looked at my husband. I said, "You know what I have found in there?" He said, "What?" I said, "There's an ironing board in there."
There's
It
a
was just
floor.
covered in a mound of stuff.
There's a floor and an ironing board.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, yeah, it's that's funny. Yeah, I might need to do that. I hate cleaning though. I need to hire a maid.
I ain't lying. I need a raise so I can hire a maid.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Because
hire
my
Candy.
house,
She's OCD. I'll hire Candy. She's OCD and ADD.
she'll have it spotless.
She's short
She'll
little
have
girl. We can eat off the floors.
she'll have it spotless. It might take her a
Mm,
while with the ADHD,
I ain't lying.
but she'll have it spotless.
She sure will. And smelling good.
There you go. There
She
you go.
be had all my wax warmers running, all my candles burning.
Speaking of wax warmers, I got a new wax scent, and girl, it smells so good. It's called uh love potion or something like that. But you know what it
Remember
smells
that?
like? Yeah, you know what it smells like? It
What?
smells like love spell from Victoria's Secret.
Really?
Uh-huh. Which
See, that would be too sweet for me.
that's one of my favorite perfumes.
Mm.
Love spell.
Well, I have my spring and summer scent is pink peonies.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I mean, it's it's a light, airy,
Yeah.
flowery.
Right.
Um, but ever since I found that leather at Christmas time at Tractor Supply,
Yeah.
I have been mixing the two, one in one and one in another one. Girl,
See, I gotta
I
be
it's like I'm riding a horse through a flower field.
See, I gotta be careful what I put in the living room because Robert is very sensitive with
hmm
smells. I
hmm
mean, I am as well, but I can handle like I'm sensitive to like cleaning smells.
Yeah.
So like cleaning stuff gives me headaches.
hmm
Lysol gives me headaches.
hmm
But like and then like old lady perfume gives me
Oh.
headaches. Like when we went to that the undisclosed location at the beach, that gave me headaches.
hmm
Um
I used to work with a lady. I mean, she sat right beside me. Lord
mhm.
bless her heart, I love her to death. But that thing wore white diamonds, and it that
Whew.
every time I'd walk in the door, I could feel it just
Yeah. Choking you. Yeah.
yeah.
So usually in my living room I have it's like a cinnamon cranberry,
hmm
and then in the guest bathroom it's like a straight cranberry,
Yeah.
and then in my bathroom it's that love potion.
hmm
So yeah, it's I love a good wax warmer.
I do
I
too.
have three in my living room, one in each bathroom. But
Yeah,
I
I
have
have. I've got three or four wax warmers through the house that run all the time. I've got candles everywhere.
yeah.
I just
I gotta
I
I
love them.
gotta be careful though about when I turn them on in the living room because Blanche will get right up there and stick her. She's stuck her nose in it before, and she had wax all over her lips.
Trying to get herself a facial.
She is.
He was trying to swipe her something to eat's what she was doing.
That's exactly what she was doing,
She's gonna get her
and
little snacky snack.
she's like, and
Yep, nope.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, and that stuff took like a couple days to come out of her fur.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Like I was like, Blanche, are you stupid? Come on now. She's
She's not
like,
stupid. She's just special.
she's special, all right. I tell you, she will do anything for a daggum treat.
Fat boy over here will too. Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, yeah,
Yep, Jill says that right there ain't chasing nothing but a biscuit.
yep, that's pretty. Blanche, you mentioned food around her. She can be in a still sleep, sound asleep, snoring away. You open a wrapper, she's there in 2 seconds.
Girl, a booger coming in the house. Mm-mm, don't phase these two.
Nuh-uh.
Stand there and beat on the doors. No, mm-mm, ain't gonna phase these two. You get a cheese wrapper. Oh hell, you better hold on.
Yeah, yeah, Blanche. She can hear a wrapper from a mile away. Now, if somebody does come in
My
the
mom,
house,
My mama sitting in y'all singing Hotel California.
Is she? Love Mama Wanda. She's a sweet lady.
She's just a singing.
We don't own the rights to that music, so but that is the funniest thing. That's so funny. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for this weekend. But let's I got a few paranormal experiences that I found in the wide world of Reddit that we can discuss if you'd like to.
Jump, girl, jump.
All right, I got four of them.
Okay.
They're each one's a little bit different. So I'll start out with this one. So this all of these come from Reddit and yeah, so this is from the subreddit paranormal. This one was actually posted like 8 hours ago.
Ooh.
The yeah, so it's fresh. The user is Gloku. Um quote, I'll start off by saying I am super skeptical and that there has to be a rational explanation for what I'm experiencing. That being said, some strange things have been happening over the past few months. So recently, I have been having to sleep on the couch in the living room because of my back. I've fallen asleep on the couch before, but never slept through the night. My girlfriend sleeps in our bed and in the bedroom, and our two boys each sleep in their two rooms near the back of the apartment. My girlfriend broke her ankle a month ago and has been unable to work, so she's been home a lot lately, but she's very limited in what she can do. I work from home. We have a 4-year old that is home with me all day, a 9-year old who just finished third grade, so he's home all day now. Uh, None of this is a problem. It's just added a little more responsibility to me, therefore, a little bit more stress. Most days, I feel like I never get a moment to myself. I wake up around 7, start work at 8. The boys wake up between 9 and 10. I'll make them some breakfast, go back to work until 1, then I'll take a break and just make sure everyone's good. I'll make lunch, set up the boys with some activities or whatever. Then I get back to work and end around 3. First of all, okay, end quote. First of all, I want that schedule.
I ain't lying.
I want that schedule. Quote, after everyone is pretty much tired of being in the house, after that, everyone's pretty much tired of being in the house, so we'll go do something. Most of my days end around 9:30 when the boys are finally in bed. I'll hang out with my girl for a bit unless she's fallen asleep while I'm snuggling with our youngest to get him to bed. This is my time, 10 p.m. until I fall asleep around 2 to 3 a.m. Uh, this is where the haunting part comes in. Things start making noise when it's just me. The TV will creak and make noise. I swear I hear my girlfriend walking down the hall only to find her sound asleep. The thing I hate the most is I feel like I'm being watched, especially when I'm getting ready to go to bed. When I go to the bathroom or brush my teeth, it's just this uneasy feeling like someone's right next to me watching. I never get that during the day. I remember the very first night I slept on the couch. I felt like someone was walking around behind me, checking me out like I wasn't supposed to be there. I sleep with a box fan pointed at me, and sometimes I'll get freaked out and pull the covers over my head. A few times I've heard someone walk by in front of the fan. You can tell it's happening because the air is hitting their body instead of me for a second. I don't feel afraid. The best way I can describe it is it feels like someone's walking around checking everything out, either curiously or just making sure everything is okay. It does make me uneasy though. End quote. So what do you think about that?
I'd be upset that they were disturbing my wind from the fan.
Don't be blocking the fan.
Don't be blocking my fan now. We'll be fighting.
So for me, this actually sounds residual
Yeah.
because it happens around the same time every night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's not saying that it doesn't happen during the day. It totally might, but um,
Thank you.
for the most part, I mean, he it sounds like he's got a lot going on during the day, so
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't notice it during the day.
Right.
But off the right off the bat, it does sound completely residual.
Well, I mean, kind of like with you, when you get home and you settle down and things kind of get quiet
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
throughout the day, his mind's occupied, so he isn't focusing on that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, yeah, he could definitely have some abilities, but yeah, I mean, right out. I mean, just straight out the gate, to me, it just sounds residual. It sounds like it could be a former tenant of the apartment, just
Mm-hmm.
stopping in to check things out.
That, or it could be, I mean, they could figure out how we make him uneasy. We're gonna play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like, oh, watch this. I'm gonna walk
Yeah.
in front of. Have you have you seen? I think I sent it in the group chat, but it was like ghosts during paranormal investigations, and people were using like those voice apps, and they're like, okay, okay, say it. I'm lost. They're like, no, 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 now you say it. Do it. Murder. Which it kind of makes you wonder though, like that specific
Well,
video.
when we were in the old morgue in Lake City,
Uh huh.
Michael caught the feel from you.
Uh huh. That's just
About that
Michael.
time when I started thinking, I wonder if they're standing over there talking amongst themselves. Watch this shit.
Yeah, right?
Boo. What you doing?
Yeah, right? I mean, it's
I would.
very.
I mean, that is something I would do.
Oh, I fully plan to come back and haunt some people
Oh yeah.
and be like, watch this. Ready? Watch, watch, watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Snatch the cover off the bed. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, like it makes you wonder, like what they do. They all gather in the room and it's like, just watch this, watch this.
Yeah.
Like, we'll have to ask that on another investigation. All right, so this next one, good God, it's a long one. This next one is about a past life experience. It is called I believe I was a World War II U.S. Navy pilot in a past life by
Ooh.
Cherokee Pilot 1997. Quote, I've been hesitant to post this anywhere or talk about it with anyone except for my closest friends and family members. But I finally posted it in the subreddit Past Lives the other day and thought you might appreciate it here too. Ever since I was a little baby, I had been drawn to airplanes. My mom says that when I was less than a year old, I would reach for stuffed airplanes in the store and refuse to let go so refused to let go once she finally gave them to me. I also chose a baby swing shaped like an airplane, and it was it was in this that I said my second word after mama, airplane. This soon began to intersect
Hmm.
with an inextri- in inextricable anyway attraction to World War II. At 2 or 3 years old, my mom said that she was flipping through channels to get to Bob the Builder, and I'd scream when she passed the History Channel, demand to watch, and then sit enraptured in front of the World War II documentaries. Keep in mind, this is when that channel covered actual history. Specifically, I was interested in World War II aviation, especially U.S. naval aviation. I had a huge coffee table book with a painting of the Battle of Midway, and I would apparently sit for hours and just stare at it. That interest continued all through my childhood, and I refused to play with anything but toy models of World War II aircraft. Constantly scribbled aircraft carriers, battle scenes in my notebook. Flew in a World War II B 17 at 7 years old, read untold dozens of books on the subject, went to air shows, and at one point met with World War II pilots at one of those events. My dad left me alone with them and came back sometime later to find me talking with them about things that I could have barely known. For example, how the visibility out the back of a certain plane's cockpit was hampered by the light conditions at certain altitudes and times of day. I also distinctly remember begging my grandpa to order me large die-cast model of the USS Intrepid aircraft carrier. When it arrived, I tried to remove some of the small molded plastic aircraft from the flight deck, inexplicably drawn to the tiny versions of one plane, the Grumman Avenger torpedo bomber. I went on to start flying real planes at 12, got my pilot's license at 17, and joined the U.S. Navy ROTC to become a naval aviator. Throughout my training, my instructions would comment that I just seemed to know what I was doing, and the word natural was used frequently. I say this not to brag, but just to note that it was through absolutely no skill of my own. When I was about 7, I know this because Drake and Josh had just come out, and I remember watching them after my flying sessions. I would play Flight Simulator on my family's computer every night. God, that takes me back. Nothing crazy about that. However, without fail, before I started flying in the game, I would pretend to be asleep on the couch, my bunk, before yelling, now hear this, pilots, man your planes, jolting awake, running upstairs, leaping over the arm of my computer chair, and beginning to throw imaginary switches. For those of you who aren't World War II nerds, that phrase is exactly how World War II U.S. Navy aircraft carriers would call pilots over the loudspeaker to begin a mission, something that was not simulated out in any of the games. Okay, now nothing super unusual about that, right? Lots of kids like airplanes, and many people are interested in the Second World War. Here's the part that nags me. For a long, long time, probably even before I had that interest in World War II, I've been having a reoccurring dream of what I now think may have been my past life. It's incredibly vivid and completely unlike any scene I've ever come across in a World War II movie, documentary, etc. I've been having it once or twice a quarter for 3 years. Or for, I don't know where three came from. Once or twice a quarter for years. And it's exactly the same every single time. In it, I'm flying a Grumman TBF Avenger over the ocean. It is dusk and clearly a Pacific sunset. The colors are rich reds and oranges. The sun is slanting through the billowing clouds in a way that I'd never seen it in my real life until I visited Hawaii at age 21. I clearly recognized the cockpit of the Avenger from its distinctive greenhouse window bracing and its unique trapezoidal instrument panel. I look out at the right wing and it's full of holes and streaming a white fuel leak. Meanwhile, I clearly hear the radial engine running rough as it dies, backfiring, coughing, sputtering. I call to my crewman over the intercom. Avenger had a 3-man crew, but there is no response. Either the intercom is dead or they are. I know I won't be in the air much longer and I have to ditch. My hands fly over the cockpit in a well trained fashion. I can distinctly feel the grip as I reach above and unlatch the canopy in preparation for ditching. I'm scared but confident as I guide my plane down toward the water, flare, stall into a light swell, stall it to a light swell. The plane skips once back into the air, then makes a loud shh sound as it settles into the water. Although I know that Avengers are known for floating well after ditching, thanks to their large wings and fuselage, mine are full of holes. And I know that I don't have much time. Even as I unstrap my safety harness, I feel the huge engine up front start to pull the plane forward. As the aircraft tilts up and begins to sink nose first, I reach above me, pull the back canopy, which I had previously unlatched. However, the force of the impact must have jammed it shut. I reach up, try to wrench it back, and it doesn't budge. As the water begins to cover the cockpit windshield, I start to feel raw animal panic. I scream and as I tear desperately at the canopy release. But with a sickening lurch, I feel the plane yield to gravity and begin its final descent. At that moment, I wake up, often bolt upright, covered in sweat. Now, I know that this sounds a lot like the case of James Leaning, Leaninger, but I had truly never heard of the story until I woke up soaked one night in 2020 and Googled World War II pilot past life. The similarities are eerie. I'm a very skeptical person, but I'm beginning to think the past life version of me flew an Avenger and died in the Pacific era in 19, or circa 1944. Curious to hear your thoughts. Um,
That is wild.
isn't it?
Whoa.
That I mean, I'm a firm believer in past lives.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
like I am a firm I mean, we had, I had one of my most vivid past lives confirmed, verified. And like down to the battle that I died in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think I definitely think that if you're drawn to a certain era, then that is a telltale of a past life. But yeah, I mean, I think that was wild for sure. All right, I got one more, and then we'll probably call it. But this is kind of about signs from loved ones after they pass. This is from mental guard 9897. Title is my grandfather leaving us signs? Quote, hi, my grandpa died last week. We actually saw it coming since his health had been getting progressively worse since 2021. Oh, and I should add, this was posted 2 hours ago. Um, but of course, that didn't make his death any less painful or shocking. The day he died, I was so devastated and filled with grief that I started talking to him out loud, asking him to give me a sign. Any sign would be good enough. Today was the day of the funeral, and two very strange things happened. After the ceremony, me and my family went to eat lunch in the cafeteria of the funeral home before going to the cemetery to bury my grandfather. At some point, the automatic blinds in the cafeteria started rolling down by themselves, which I initially didn't clock as unusual or weird, just a technical issue, until one of the staff members noticed and remarked that it was strange, since she put the remote for the blinds in a drawer that morning and nobody else had touched it since. In the afternoon, we actually went to the cemetery to bury my grandfather, and on the drive home, the radio in the car randomly stopped working. And that's when I started wondering if it might be my grandpa trying to make his presence known to give me and my family signs. I know the things I mentioned might sound very typical slash cliche or like they could have just been coincidences, but given that people often talk about things turning on or off by themselves after a loved one passing, I was wondering if this could have been had something to do with it. End quote.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, well, like when my grandmother passed away, it was that broke me. First of all, that
Mhm.
I still struggle with that now. But when we knew the manner in which she passed away, we knew it was coming, and it was it just was a matter of what time during that day. So I was sitting at work, and about 4:10, I heard this loud bang in my building. Just this loud, like boom, and nothing fell. It was just a very loud bang. Well, about 3 or 4 minutes later, my dad calls me and tells me my grandmother had passed away at 4:09. So the more I thought about it, the more I was like, that was just her coming to say, "Look, I'm gone." So I definitely think, and I kind of want to do a whole episode on messages from loved ones, as far as the different symbols and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely a firm believer that loved ones will send a sign or something just to let you
Oh yeah.
know.
Hmm.
But yeah. Um. So what did you think of our stories?
I thought they were very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, Especially the one with the airplanes of World
Yeah.
War II. I mean, that was just so specific.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
it was like whoever that pilot was took this child by the hand
Mm-hmm.
and walked him through life.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and the fact that this person, let me go back. The fact that this person, I mean, this person sounds so 17, 18. So this person's an adult for sure.
Hmm.
And the fact that they still remember that is amazing, because most people will forget their past lives after a certain age. So, like kids, normal people will forget their past lives after a certain age. But but yeah, I mean, definitely interesting. Y'all let us know if you have had a past life, if you think you've had a past life. Also, if you have any paranormal experiences you like to share, there's a link on our Facebook at the top of the page. It stays pinned under the featured tab. You can submit a paranormal experience that you've had, or several. If you've had multiple, submit multiple forms. Or just send us an email or send us a message. We'd love to feature it on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But but yeah, I think that's it for the night. So y'all let us know in the comments what you think. And there you have it. Random stream of consciousness night. Um hope
It's
y'all
a lot
enjoy.
there. Hey, it was a lot more tame than what it normally is.
Oh, absolutely. But y'all let us know what you think, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for your support, your ongoing support. And until next time, y'all come back now, you hear? Bye.
Bye.